Alright guys, welcome to video 2 on this GMC. So as you can see, it's moved to a different spot, and that's because it's time to power wash it today. So a little bit of an update. The owner of this truck has decided that he wants to put in something brand new. So we have a brand new crate motor from Summit that will go in it, but before we do that, I want to power wash it because it's nice this morning and I can't wait to get all this mold and stuff off the edge of this truck. You can see the window. It's really been sitting for a long time. So see, this side I don't feel like is as bad as the other, but maybe it's the other way around. I think that side's a little bit better. Either way, it will get power washed today and it's gonna be awesome. I was hesitant to use the pressure washer. I'm not really surprised this happened, but some of the paint that had been applied to the hood, because the hood, door, and fender had all been repainted. Some of it came up, but it was coming up anyway. With that being said, the rest of the car looks way better. Even dry and not shiny anymore, it still looks much better than being moldy. You can actually see out of all of the glass and all that kind of stuff. I ran out of gas in my power washer, or I'd probably do the engine bay, but I need to wait till I get the motor out, the old motor out, in order to get that done. But that will be the next step, is pulling this old motor out. Check this out. So the owner of the 72 GMC decided that he wanted a brand new crate motor. So this is a 350 engine from Blueprint Motors. I will eventually get the specs out, but if you really want to know, part number BP350 3CT1. Summit Racing has all the details and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm not really sure exactly which one he ordered, but I know it just came in today. And there it is. It's a beauty. So he has asked me to actually paint this motor. So what I have to do today is get it on a stand and, kind of get it ready to paint, mask it off, all that kind of stuff. Just because he will be wanting it to look nice and, not wanting to have to take it out again. But yeah, it's already pre-run. It supposedly has a dyno sheet on it and it should be all ready to go. So the cool part about getting an engine from Blueprint is that they dyno them before they send them to you. This one looks like it makes a max foot-pounds of torque of 403 and max horsepower at 392. Now, this is on a dyno, this is not in the truck, so take that with a grain of salt. Here's the Waldo. Thanks, Waldo, for being the operator, but he's the one that did it. So it looks like it makes max foot-pounds around 4,000 RPM and max horsepower up at the top end. So you lose a little bit of torque between 4,000 and 5,500 RPM, but it's cool because it's it's going to be a good engine. There's no throwing it in and oh, it needs a head gasket, or oh, it needs this, that, and the other thing. It's good. So we'll get it up on the engine stand and pretty much prep it for paint at this point. Here's the motor all on the stand. You know what the best part about it is? He picked a chrome oil pan. You know what that means? That means I don't have to paint it. So he will be painting this engine, and he's going to be smart, and he's going to paint it orange, like all Chevrolet motors should be. But luckily, this isn't the first engine I've painted. Well, that's got a dent in it. That kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So this isn't the first engine that I've painted, and because of that, I have kept these. These are basically little fillers that I can put in the exhaust and all of the spark plug holes and all that kind of stuff that I can reuse when I paint the engine, and it'll go a lot faster, less masking to do. This engine is now ready to paint. It probably took me an hour to mask everything off. It took a lot less time because I had these little inserts for the exhaust and for the spark plugs. Now, a couple things you want to remember is you probably could paint without those, but either way, cover everything, like that dipstick hole and where the fuel pump is going to go, and then the water jackets aren't really that important to cover. You can scrape them off with a razor blade if you need to. I have this old intake that I put on top of it. It's not the right one for the motor, so it doesn't sit completely flush, but it does the job of covering what I needed to cover. It took a little less time to, it took a little more time to mask this one up because the oil pan needs to be covered, and so does the timing cover. Those usually get painted orange and they just don't need much masking at all. Same with the valve covers, but it's ready to go. So the plan, I also put a beater old oil filter on there just to cover the hole. So the plan is to paint the front, then paint the back, and then rotate it on its side, paint one side, and then do the other side. I think that's how we're going to do this one. Here is the big reveal. Are you guys ready for this? 1, 2, 3. Look how pretty it turned out. I love painting engines. I really do. So that's 2 mist coats and 2 heavy coats, all about 10 minutes apart. I use an entire can of paint on this engine, but it's going to be awesome. Let's see, I've also put a balancer on there. He has a brand new fuel pump, he has a brand new water pump, he has a brand new intake, distributor, carburetor. I'm assuming he's going to use his old starter. I don't know. We haven't thought about that far. He has a flywheel for it. But this is working out really, really well. Look how pretty that is. So that's going to be the end of this video, but remember, there's always more to come. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.